I want you to think back to when you were younger. Remember how you got out of bed? Just able to swing your leg to the side and stand up without a second thought. Fast forward to this morning, and how many steps did it take you? Because somewhere along the way, it started to become more of a conscious process. The strategic roll to your sides, using your hands to push you up into a seated position, then slowly taking a moment to let things settle. It's not just about getting out of bed either, rolling over in the middle of the night, or trying to get up out of the couch and having to consider your options and what's going to hurt your back the least. Ultimately, it comes down to your core. The deep foundational strength that should make these movements effortless has slowly been getting weaker over the years, and it started to cause a problem in your daily activities, and your bodies needed to slowly make these exhausting workarounds. I'm Keegan with Peak City Gym, the premier fitness over 40 facility here in Apex, North Carolina. We have over 30 years of experience helping people just like you build muscle, lose weight, and gain confidence in their daily life. If you're in the Apex area, make sure you stop by. We'd love to answer any questions you have. Over the years, here's what we found to be true that you may not believe. Those elaborate routines that you need to do to work around are not an inevitability of aging. It's a symptom of a weak core. This doesn't mean six-pack abs or endless crunches, but functional core training that builds the deep strength that your body actually needs. Today, I'm sharing our 5 favorite exercises specifically to build your core. When you build your core the right way, you don't have to consider the options of getting out of bed or standing up from the couch. You already have the necessary strength to support your body because these actions become automatic again. And you get back to that natural confidence where your body no longer needs a strategy session first. If you're tired of needing an action plan to roll out of bed or to get up from the couch, please consider subscribing. Let's get your body back working the way it should. Before we jump into the exercises, let's briefly talk about why core strength is actually really important beyond just doing crunches and having a good looking midsection. The traditional approach of doing endless crunches is actually kind of missing the point. Your core isn't your abs. It's a complex system that includes your pelvic floor, your diaphragm, your ab muscles in front, and all the muscles that attach to your spine in the back. Think of the core as your body's natural weight belt, providing necessary support and stability for literally everything you do. Here's why core work becomes so important, especially after 40. Nearly 80% of people experience low back pain at some point in their life. And as we age, our recovery becomes even worse. So we need to be more considerate of preventing those lower back injuries. When your core is weak, our lower back muscles need to work even harder to keep our body stable. This can cause the overwork of our lower back muscles and eventually will lead to injury or just discomfort. So we should think of our core and our lower back muscles as an orchestra. They need to work all together in sync to be able to achieve the results we like. Our 5 favorite exercises for core strength. This is going to be our pal-off press with a hold. The hold is really important because we're really just building up that tolerance for time under tension. To set up for this, we're gonna grab a cable or a band with both hands, usually with our palms facing down toward the ground. Then from there, we're pressing it out away from the center of gravity and back to our torso. The further it goes out from you, the more challenging it's gonna be, and the more you're gonna have to resist the urge to turn towards our anchor point. Then on our last rep of however many reps you want to do, we're gonna hold this, really focusing on keeping that torso nice and tight and keeping those shoulders out and away from us. Our wide stance anti-rotation with a hold is a slight modification on the pal-off press. With this movement, we're keeping the arms away from our torso, but having a slight rotation with just our shoulders. To set up for this, it's gonna be exactly the same as the pal-off press. This is a slight modification on that specific exercise. So we'll take a band or a cable machine and we're going to put it about chest height. Then stepping away from the machine, we're grabbing our handles, usually a rope or a stacked handle is good as well. We're gonna press it away from our body, and then from this position, we're rotating just slightly through our upper body. Keep in mind, as we're doing this, we're not moving through our hips, everything is staying nice and rigid, we're just moving from that upper body. Having our feet nice and wide for this movement helps with keeping our lower body stable, and it makes it a little bit easier. So if you're having too difficult of a time maintaining a good posture through your lower body, widen that stance even further and see if that helps you. Our third exercise is the cross body knee touch. We're gonna lay down into a standard crunch position, feet flat on the ground, knees up. And from this position, we're crunching up with our right arm, reaching towards our left knee, or with our left arm reaching up towards our right knee. This introduces a little bit of rotation with our crunch while also getting us into that flexed position. We want to do this slowly and imagine as if each individual vertebrae is going up with us at a time. So we don't want to just swing our body up in a straight spine. We want to actually try and round that spine as we're going through this movement. I like to think about it as trying to move my sternum, this point here in the middle of my chest, closer to my pelvis and not just sitting up, bringing it closer to the ceiling. The fourth exercise we're going to highlight today is our Turkish roll-up. This can be more challenging of an exercise because we're adding some more resistance and it's a bit more complex. There's a lot more going on with this one than all of our other movements. So for the Turkish roll-up, we're gonna lay flat on our back, one leg straight, one leg bent with the foot flat on the ground. From here, if our right leg is flat and bent, we're gonna lift our right arm up holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Our left arm and our left leg are straight down on the ground. From here, we're punching that weight up towards the ceiling. Holding that position, we're gonna roll up onto our left elbow if our right arm is up. So it's gonna look something like this. Arm up, leg bent. We're gonna roll up, trying to sit as high as possible onto that elbow, using our core, really getting that flexion, moving through the whole range of motion. One thing to keep in mind is we're keeping that arm with the weight in it straight the whole time. We're not bending and pressing at all during this movement. It's just staying straight up. The fifth exercise we're going to highlight today is our side plank with hip abduction. This is a challenging exercise because we're not only just using our core muscles, we're also integrating some hip stability. So to set up for this, we're going to lay on our side, both legs straight, one arm tucked underneath us, and from here, we're going to push that elbow down into the ground, lifting our hip up from the ground. From here, we're holding that plank position, trying to stay as straight from our chest down to our feet. Then we're going to lift our top leg up towards the sky. This becomes a lot more challenging because we're putting a lot more emphasis on that bottom hip stabilizing this position. If the leg being straight is too much for you and it's causing hip pain, you can go into our modified side plank where the bottom leg is bent at 90 degrees and you're driving down through the knee. If you get knee discomfort while doing this, just put a pad down and that should help you feel a little bit better. With the hip abduction or lifting the leg up towards the ceiling, it's not really about how high you go. We just want to feel our hips doing the movement. So maybe 1 to 2 feet up from where it's starting is perfectly okay with this movement. A really big thing to keep in mind is not letting your hips sag towards the ground and dropping your hips or pushing your hips back behind you. We want to keep as straight of a line from our shoulders down to the contact point on the ground. If you have issues maintaining this position, elevate your elbows a little bit more. That's going to make it a lot easier for your core and also your hip to stabilize this position. One of the biggest limitations I hear when doing core exercises is discomfort through the neck. That's commonly going to come from reaching with our head instead of reaching through our sternum. So first, I like to kind of coach the perspective shift from moving your eyes closer to the position and moving it into our chest or our sternum. So with this cue, we don't want to reach with our head or push our head out. We want to reach through our sternum, so changing that perspective to reaching through this part of our body towards our pelvis, especially with the crunch exercises. Remember, with all of our videos, it's not about achieving the perfect physique. It's about creating a more strong, confident, and capable body for you to be in for the rest of your life. Consistency with appropriate intensity or lower intensity is going to far outweigh higher intensity and being inconsistent. If this approach to core strength resonates with you, please consider sharing this with your friends and family. That greatly helps us grow and create more content for you. In the comments, let me know which exercise seems the most challenging for you. I'd love to have a discussion. And as always, here's to being happy, healthy, and more confident.